My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, my real name, and I have to use the name Peggy Ann Dempsey. I'm married to Childers. And I'm putting this up because I just put up a couple, well, I tried putting up three or four couple of videos about Bear Bryant, the Alabama Crimson Tide. And he was murdered by mind control. And I've tried to go into a little detail on the videos to show how I know, and I do know. But anyway, they're untitled, so probably no one will even look at them. I try to put them on Facebook, and that gets into me being kidnapped and brought over here in 41 to Moulton, Alabama. And of course, Bear Bryant was the coach at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, the Crimson Tide. And I've told about, I'm giving this background so that people, I haven't told a lie about anything. People don't want to believe things or they're fear it. And I did want to put this: the Virginia Tech shootings, that's mind control, happened after I came up here. But I wanted to, I came up to Roanoke in October of 86. But anyway, I want to tell this though. This is what I was lying there thinking tonight after I tried to put, and I've put information up on YouTube. I've got two accounts, by the way. This is true. Mrs. Angela Queen stole my phone, got a hold of my phone the day before Easter last year and just about destroyed everything. But there's two accounts there, Peggy Ann Childers and Peggy Childers. But what I wanted to get to here was 1980. I had antifreeze put in me. I'd had a letter from the FBI, ongoing investigation, national security involved, and I'd done the book, trying to get it published. Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, near Marietta, where I lived, and a lot was done to me in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Nobody's ever been prosecuted. So that I don't make this too long, and if you care to go back and look at the other videos, especially the last three I just put up, they're untitled. They didn't put the title up on them. So probably nobody will even look at them. But Jake Hartsfield, it was a reporter for the Huntsville Times in 1980. I'd had the letter from the FBI in 79. In April Fool Day of 80, I had antifreeze put in me. I should have died. I mean, there's no way I should have even lived. Anyway, I'm leaving out because it gets too involved. I just wanted to put this up. I was illegally transported across the state line from Marietta to, in that condition, to, and against the law, but all this has been, to Huntsville, Alabama. And I went to work for the district attorney in the condition I was in, Fred Simpson, so I put all this up. I wanted to fast forward to a couple of years. Well, I don't know, it was a couple of years. It was, I guess, in 81, November of 81. Uh, I'm just going to put part of this because if you don't know all of it, then I don't know. Jack Hartsfield was also a FBI agent. And he saved my life, quite frankly. They brought in as police chief Salvador Vazzini, who he had a book. He was FBI, and it said something in the book that if he told what he really knew about things, he'd be killed. The book was older, so I'm distracting from this. Something happened, and let me say this: my life was on the line then. Is how they tried to kill me. And this woman, Lina, she was afraid if the book was published that they'd find out I'd been kidnapped. And she killed her twins, Peggy and Carl. So here's what I'm getting to. My life was on the line. I'm going to leave it out because if you don't know it all, then Jack turned to the cop he was working for Patterson, Sheriff Patterson, who had, after the antifreeze put in and all that back in 80, he had done a background check as required to go to work for Fred Simpson, the district attorney in Madison County, Huntsville, Alabama. And my life was right here, and you should see what was being done to me, that they allowed to be done to me. But Jack Hartsfield and his nephew, I think it's his nephew, is Hank Hartsfield, captain of two of the shuttles that went off, NASA astronaut from Alabama, but he's deceased now. But Jack said to this policeman, and he said, if you ask her, and he's talking about me, she can tell you who killed your, and I've forgotten now, it's been so long, it was his brother or his uncle. Seemed like it was his brother that worked for Patterson at the sheriff's office too. So they should have really been interested in not trying to kill me, okay? But Jack says, ask her. She can tell you who killed, I think it was his brother, this policeman. And he was talking about Marcus Bulldog Daniel, who had been murdered and worked for Sheriff Patterson. Now, I could go on with the abuse that was hurled at me and done to me there in Huntsville. It is so hideous. But I wanted to make this because I've never lied about any of it. Half of it I couldn't even put up. So when I say that the person was murdered by mind control, that's exactly what happened. And Bear Bryant, Coach Bear Bryant, was one of them, okay?